Thanks for joining us for the Long Island Sound podcast. Each week we explore new music and dive deeper with the artists and their stories behind the music. Please subscribe and rate and review us wherever you stream this podcast. Here's your host, Steve Yusko.
Welcome to Billy Joel Week. Hey, it's been quite a week for Billy Joel. They renamed a street in the town of Oyster Bay called Billy Joel Way. And there's a new exhibit at the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. We have highlights from both Billy Joel's speech and the presentation in Stony Brook. It's going to be a fantastic exhibition. Hey, this is Steve Yusko from the Long Island Sound podcast. Stay tuned for some great highlights of Billy's speech and the presentation at the Music Hall of Fame.
We officially renamed this section of Audrey Avenue as Billy Joel Way.
We're here in front of 20th Century Cycles, Billy Joel's motorcycle shop, and they're going to be unveiling a street named after Billy here in the town of Oyster Bay. Crowd's pretty excited on this beautiful autumn day in October.
I know I'm not the only one in the room here today who can say from the bottom of our hearts that we're all huge Billy Joel fans. Anybody else? It is now our distinct pleasure to welcome a true man of enormous accomplishment, a man who touches our hearts, the man who wrote and performed the soundtrack to our lives, our hero, Mr. Town of Oyster Bay. Let's hear it for Billy Joel!
I want to acknowledge the band right here because I used to be in band when I was in 6th grade. In the Hicksville schools, I was in Fort Lane School, and I played the French horn. I was terrible. And in the marching band, the problem with the French horn is you chip your teeth with every step you take. And I chipped some teeth. So I no longer was in the marching band. Anyway, good luck in the band. Watch out for your teeth. So I grew up in Hicksville, which is just south of here. And despite all the songs I've written about Italian restaurants and Vienna waits for you and this and that, I'm like 10 minutes away from where I grew up. Always wanted to spend time here. When I was young, my mom used to take us to Oyster Bay from Hicksville. I lived on an island, and I said, "Mom, where's the water?" We had a sump behind me, and that was the only water we knew of. And I was thinking she was going to take us to Jones Beach to see the water, but she took us to the North Shore. She took us to Oyster Bay and Cold Spring Harbor. And that's where we thought the water was. So this was always a place that I aspired to be. When I was young, it was kind of like the Great Gatsby. There were all these beautiful houses and beautiful areas, and it was all like rich people, you know. And I thought, wow, I'll never live there because they never sell their stuff. They just keep inheriting things. And then I ended up actually getting a place here. I've had like 3 different houses in Oyster Bay. And now I've come full circle because I'm selling the place. But I always appreciate being here. And I think about it all the time. And this is where I want to be mostly. I was asked a couple of years ago if it would be okay if someone named a street after me, and I said this was from the New York State Legislature. You want me to name a street after you? And I said, yeah, but don't you have to die first? And then they came back with the answer, yes. I said, honestly, I'd rather still be alive and not have the street. But now I've got the best of both worlds. I'm alive and I'm married. Have a nice day. You got a beautiful day for it.
He is Mr. Oyster Bay. So by the power invested in me and all of us, by the state of New York and the residents of the town of Oyster Bay, we officially renamed this section of Audrey Avenue as Billy Joel Way.
Well, that's as close as I got to Billy Joel to do an interview.
The new Billy Joel exhibit was announced at the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. Let's check out some of the highlights as we listen to Ernie Canandaigua and Kevin O'Callahan, the creative artist behind the exhibit.
So, Kevin O'Callahan has been and is the creative force behind the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. He was the force for our first much acclaimed exhibit, Long Island's legendary club scene, as well as our Hall of Fame upstairs, and now the Billy Joel My Life exhibit. Kevin has a long and distinguished career as one of the nation's most renowned exhibition designers. He was inducted into the prestigious Art Directors Hall of Fame and continues his 30-plus year career as head of the 3D program at the School of Visual Arts. He has created over 100 exhibitions throughout the world, and his book, Monumental, was published in 2010 and has become the standard for creative exhibition design. We are proud to have Kevin on our board and as our creative director. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce my dear friend, Mr. Kevin O'Callahan.
Thank you, Ernie. Boy, that sounded pretty good. I'm a little excited now. This is a dream come true for me. Like Ernie said, I've done over 150 exhibitions. A lot of my exhibition work has been tributes to different artists, both in the music industry and the visual art area. But this is very close to my heart because I am a Long Islander and very proud of it. Baldwin, in fact, was where I was from. And to do an exhibition with the Piano Man, Billy Joel, is an unbelievable dream come true. I do have to say that when we first met Billy Joel, I was a little nervous, right? It was on Valentine's night at the concert, at the Garden, at the Residency. We met him in the back of the Garden in, I guess what you would call a green room. He came out by himself, which surprised me. I thought he'd have a big entourage around him. And he couldn't be more welcoming. He heard I guess he heard our Long Island accents, and he felt really at home with us, which was really good. And he sat there, he joked with us. We presented originally that banner, that panel right there. I had to roll it up and get it into the garden through security and everything else. And he looked at it, and he couldn't have been more open and welcoming to any more than he did. And I had heard that he was a little tough to get him to say yes to anything. He's a humble guy, and he usually doesn't do things that, put him on a pedestal. But I explained to him that this would be a party, that we're going to celebrate your career, and we're going to celebrate the people that you inspired and inspired you. So in the exhibition, we have tributes to Sir Paul McCartney, we have tributes to Ray Charles, Otis Redding, Beethoven, anything that Billy felt close to or felt he was inspired by. I just want to show a couple of, I came with visual aids, of course. The beginning of the exhibition is going to be our counter in the front, which is going to be turned into a piano. When you walk into the exhibition, we have a tribute to what Billy called the one performance that changed my life, which was the Beatles performance at Shea Stadium. So we're going to have a vintage television playing the performance at Shea. And of course, when you begin the journey, you have to begin it in Levittown. And I don't think anybody has ever paid tribute to his life in Levittown or the town of Levittown. And I know that the people that are excited about this, I've spoken to several people. Television set, which are going to be able to really change what's on the screen, and this will be his music performances, basically, primarily the MTV years. Here's the tributes to the different inspirations. I'm going to go through this real quick. We're also going to have an interactive record shop that's going to have only the records that Billy listened to when he was a kid that really inspired him. And the visitors will be able to remove the records from the sleeves and play them on these vintage record players and listen to what Billy was listening to at the time. We're also going to reproduce his recording studio. This wonderful instrument right here is actually the instrument that he recorded My Life on, amongst some other songs. So we're going to have that, and that's going to be in an environment. What you see in the lobby, which looks like the 52nd Street album, Missing Billy Joel, is our photo op areas where people will be able to walk up and be part of the album. So they'll be able to stand there like Billy Joel and take a photo. This is Glass Houses. That's me throwing a rock at the Glass Houses, if you know the album. So the exhibition, I guess in short, is going to be a wonderful interactive exhibition. I believe that everybody has to be part of an exhibition. There's going to be things for children to do. There's going to be events based around this exhibition that are going to be happening. This is going to be a major thing. This is the Billy Joel dream come true. This is it. This is what Long Island's waited for. The second time we went to see Billy, we showed him the model. Of course, I didn't bring that into Madison Square Garden, but we showed it to him on the screen. And I whispered to him, Billy, I think Long Island really needs this. And he went like this to me, and he gave us the okay. And that was like the home run. We had the home run. This is going to be a wonderful, wonderful journey, the Piano Man's journey. Thank you all very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, well, we appreciate you guys being here, and feel free to speak about it.
Nicely done.
Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate the time you spent with us. Please subscribe and comment and visit us at gigdestiny.com. Till next time, be generous with your joy, keep your spirits high, and let the music take you on a journey. Be well. Peace.